Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago PD's new Burgess episode will dig up this forgotten season 10 storyline. Kim Burgess, Marina Squirciati, is in an interesting spot. The 10th season of Chicago PD will go down as one of the characters most important, between her promotion to detective and wedding to Adam Ruzick, Patrick John Pfluger, but in truth, she hasn't had much to do. The character has spent most of the season in supporting character mode, whether it be during the One Chicago crossover event or the storyline involving Ruzick's dad, Bob, Jack Coleman. Thankfully, this will change in the March 26 episode of Chicago PD. The promo for the episode sees Burgess take lead on a crime that takes place at her favorite diner. She recognizes the victims as fellow regulars at the diner, but struggles to determine what the cause could have been or who the culprit could be. "You notice a lot, Kim, you just have to remember," Adam Ruzick tells her. Burgess has a keen eye when it comes to investigating, hence her recent promotion, but she has also struggled when it comes to retaining information in traumatic situations in which she has a personal stake. Lest we forget, Burgess led the season 10 episode Memory, in which her reaction to a gnarly cold case led to concern about her mental health. The detective was shot and nearly killed in the line of duty in season 8, and the PTSD she suffered as a result took a massive toll on her personal and professional life. She would be overcome with stress in the field and effectively shut down. She eventually went to therapy, where she was able to identify and overcome the cause of her trauma. At least for the most part. In real life, trauma of that magnitude does not simply disappear. People have relapses, have episodes in which certain events will trigger its effects. Chicago PD writers did an excellent job of carrying this through line through multiple seasons, but season 12 has been oddly bereft of it. Burgess may be stronger, but the notion of a place she frequents and feels safe being the scene of a grisly crime would be more than enough to cause psychological discomfort and make it tough for her to easily pick out clues. We've no doubt that she will overcome and get the job done in time to catch the perpetrator, but we appreciate the attention paid to her character and a storyline that has been mostly ignored in recent seasons. In a dramatic new episode of Chicago PD, the team will finally revisit a storyline that had previously slipped under the radar during season 10. It's a twist that fans never saw coming, pulling at the threads of unresolved history between Kim Burgess and the ghosts of her past, all while placing her front and center in the high-stakes drama that her team thrives on. The episode opens with a quiet, haunting scene at Burgess's apartment, the camera lingering on her as she reflects on the calm before the storm. Her partner, Adam Ruzick, is out of town on assignment, leaving her alone to wrestle with memories that she hasn't yet fully processed. Amid the everyday chaos of her life, she finds an old, worn-out police file buried under piles of paperwork, one that she had forgotten about. It's a case she worked years ago, a string of unsolved disappearances in the city's most dangerous neighborhoods. As she flips through the files, a chill runs through her. The last name on the list? Her own. The case was buried in the archives when Burgess was promoted to intelligence, but something in this file nags at her. It's not just the chilling detail of the victim's similarities. It's the connection to her own dark past, one she hasn't shared with many, and it's about to collide with her present. The old case began when Burgess was just a rookie cop, an idealistic young woman with the world at her feet. But the victims' profiles, women with similar physical traits, all roughly Burgess's age, trigger memories of a time in her life she thought she had buried. Years ago, during a deep undercover operation that involved infiltrating dangerous street gangs, Burgess had been targeted by a powerful group that made threats against her and her colleagues. The operation was supposed to be low-key, with Burgess working in the shadows, but she became the central figure in a series of mysterious abductions tied to a now-dead cartel. The danger was so close to home, it almost cost her everything. She left the case unresolved, swept under the rug as a casualty of war on the streets, but now the truth is resurfacing. As Burgess digs deeper into the investigation, memories flood back. She remembers moments of fear, the quiet voices warning her to leave town, and the chilling realization that someone had been watching her for far longer than she realized. The tension in her life builds as she begins to receive cryptic phone calls and disturbing messages, a stalker who knows her every move. These messages tie her to the unresolved disappearances from the past. But who could it be? Is it someone from her old life, or has a new threat emerged that's using her for a sinister game? The team is caught off guard when Burgess suddenly takes a leave of absence to pursue this old lead. Voight, always the hardened leader, isn't thrilled by her decision. He's seen the toll this line of work has taken on her, but there's something about Burgess that drives him to respect her need for closure. At first, Ruzek tries to convince her to let the team help, but Burgess is determined to face this alone. It's a personal mission, one that ties back to who she was before she was a cop, before she was even part of this family. The stakes escalate when Burgess uncovers a connection to a new, ruthless gang operating in the same areas where the previous abductions took place. This group, led by an enigmatic figure known only as the Phantom, is using the same tactics that had plagued her during her early days on the force. The group's ruthless methods, kidnapping, intimidation, and manipulation, resemble the exact pattern of the old case. She starts to fear that the very thing she thought she had escaped is circling back to her. The tension builds as Burgess takes on a more dangerous persona, slipping back into the role of the fearless undercover cop, determined to find answers. Her team is conflicted, torn between supporting her and worrying about her safety. In the midst of the investigation, an unexpected ally appears. Trudy Platt, the tough-as-nails desk sergeant who has always had Burgess's back, now becoming her eyes and ears in the department as Burgess takes matters into her own hands. Trudy's loyalty and support are vital, but they bring their own risks. Burgess's investigation takes a darker turn when she discovers that the Phantom is no mere criminal mastermind. He's someone from her past, someone she once trusted, and someone who holds a secret that could destroy her life. It's a revelation that sends shockwaves through her, leaving her questioning everything she thought she knew about herself, her past, and her career. The lines blur between what is personal and what is professional as Burgess struggles to maintain control of the situation without spiraling into the same emotional chaos that led her to abandon the case years ago. As the investigation reaches its peak, Burgess must make a choice: continue to hunt down a shadow from her past, or let it all go to save herself and the people she loves. But the past doesn't easily release its hold. The final moments of the episode find Burgess face to face with the Phantom, standing in the shadow of the Chicago skyline, her badge in one hand and her past in the other. In a heart-pounding standoff, she must confront the person who's been controlling the narrative of her life for years, all while struggling to maintain her identity as both a cop and a woman who has been through more than anyone should. With her team's support, Burgess confronts the past she tried to outrun and finally comes to terms with the trauma she's carried for so long. The episode ends with a powerful scene: Burgess, bruised but unbroken, walking back into intelligence, ready to put the past behind her, but forever changed by what she uncovered. Voight gives her a knowing look, understanding that while the case is closed, the wounds it left will take much longer to heal. As the credits roll, fans are left to wonder, will this forgotten case be the key to unlocking more of Burgess's hidden history? And what other dark secrets from her past remain buried, waiting to be unearthed? With Burgess at the center, one thing is certain: the best is yet to come.